My daughter's kindergarten teacher pulled me aside at pickup and said my wife had been picking her up every day for 3 weeks. I've been a single dad for 4 years. I'm sorry. I shook my head, certain I'd misheard. What did you say? Mrs. Patterson, a kind woman in her 50s who'd been teaching kindergarten for 2 decades, looked confused. Your wife? Blonde hair? Very friendly. She's been coming at 2:45 every day. Emma just adores her. My throat tightened. I don't have a wife. But she said, my daughter's mother passed away when Emma was 1. I'm a single father. There is no wife. The color drained from Mrs. Patterson's face. Then who has been picking up Emma? I grabbed her arm, harder than I meant to. Where is my daughter right now? She's in class. She's fine. But Mr. Torres, I watched this woman sign her out personally. She knew Emma's full name, knew your address. She had a photo of you and Emma on her phone. My hands were shaking. Show me the sign-out sheets. I'd been a single dad since Emma was 14 months old. Rachel, my wife, my best friend, the only person I'd ever truly loved, died in a car accident on her way home from work. A drunk driver ran a red light at 5:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. She was pronounced dead at 6:23 p.m. I'd been feeding Emma pureed carrots when the hospital called. That was 4 years ago. Emma was 5 now, bright, curious, full of questions about everything. She didn't remember her mother. All she had were photos, stories, and a stuffed elephant named Ellie that Rachel had bought the day we found out we were pregnant. I'd done everything alone. The sleepless nights, the pediatrician visits, the potty training, the first words, the first steps. I'd learned to braid hair from YouTube tutorials, learned to pack lunches that didn't come back uneaten, learned to be both parents in a world that constantly reminded me I was only one. Emma started kindergarten at Lincoln Elementary 3 months ago. Mrs. Patterson sent weekly updates. The principal, Dr. Yamamoto, had an open-door policy. The school felt safe. I trusted them with my daughter's life, and for 3 weeks, they'd been handing her to a stranger. We rushed to the front office. The secretary, a younger woman named Jessica, looked up from her computer. Mr. Torres, is everything okay? I need to see the sign-out sheets. Now. Mrs. Patterson was already at the filing cabinet. She pulled out a thick binder, the daily pickup log, and flipped to 3 weeks ago. My stomach dropped. There it was, written in neat, careful handwriting. Rachel Torres, my dead wife's name. The same signature appeared every day. 2:45 p.m., 2:47 p.m., 2:44 p.m., 15 days of pickups, 15 days of someone pretending to be Emma's mother. Did anyone verify her ID? My voice didn't sound like my own. Jessica went pale. She said she forgot it once, but she knew everything. Emma's birthday, your address, your phone number. Emma ran to her every time, called her mommy, called her mommy. My knees nearly buckled. I turned to Mrs. Patterson. I need to see my daughter, now. Emma was sitting at a small table in her classroom, coloring a picture of a house with crayons. She looked up when I walked in. Her face lit up. Daddy. I knelt down and hugged her so tight she squirmed. Daddy, you're squishing me. I know, baby. I'm sorry. I pulled back, kept my hands on her shoulders, tried to keep my voice steady. Emma, I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Okay, the woman who picks you up from school, who is she? Emma smiled. The same bright, innocent smile she'd inherited from Rachel. That's Mommy. She came back. My heart stopped. What do you mean she came back? She said she went away for a long time, but now she's back. She said she missed me so much. Emma's eyes were shining. She said soon I'll come live with her forever, and we'll be so happy. I couldn't breathe. Baby, what else does Mommy tell you? She says you're very busy with work, so she's going to take care of me now. She says we're going to go on a big trip to a place with a beach. She says I have to keep it a secret because it's a surprise for you. A surprise. This woman had been grooming my daughter for 3 weeks, building trust, preparing her to leave willingly, and Emma had no idea. I pulled her into my arms again, held her head against my chest so she couldn't see my face, so she couldn't see me crying. I called 911 from the parking lot. Emma sat in the back seat of my Honda Civic, confused but quiet. She'd never seen me this upset. She kept asking if she was in trouble. You're not in trouble, sweetheart, I promise. Daddy just needs to make some calls. 2 detectives arrived within the hour. Detective Marcus Shaw, 16 years with the Crimes Against Children Unit, was a broad-shouldered black man with kind eyes and a calm voice. His partner, Detective Sarah Reyes, was younger, maybe mid-30s, with sharp features and a notepad that never left her hand. They reviewed the school's security footage in the principal's office, while I sat outside with Emma, who'd fallen asleep against my shoulder. Dr. Yamamoto, the principal, looked like she'd aged 10 years in the past hour. Her hands shook as she handed over the footage files. I don't understand how this happened, she kept saying. We have protocols. We have procedures. Your procedures failed, I said quietly. Someone walked into your school for 3 weeks, pretending to be my dead wife, and nobody stopped her. She didn't respond. Detective Shaw called me into the office 20 minutes later. The footage was frozen on the screen. A woman stood in the school lobby, signing the pickup sheet. Blonde hair, shoulder length, professional clothing, a navy blazer, white blouse. Mid-30s, confident posture. She looked like she belonged there. Do you recognize her? Shaw asked. I stared at the frozen frame. The woman's face was turned slightly away from the camera, but I could see enough. I'd never seen her before in my life. No. Take your your time. I don't know who she is. Detective Reyes pulled up another clip. The woman walking down the hallway, holding Emma's hand. Emma was smiling, chattering about something. The woman laughed, bent down, and hugged her. Hugged my daughter like she'd done it 1,000 times. She's good, Reyes said quietly. This isn't impulsive. She's been planning this. For how long? That's what we're going to find out. They ran facial recognition. Nothing. The woman wasn't in any criminal database. No matches in the DMV system. No hits on social media image searches. She was a ghost. What about the name? I asked. Rachel Torres. There has to be a record somewhere. Shaw pulled up the results. Your wife's death certificate came up. No one else with that exact name in the state database. Either this woman chose the name specifically because it was safe, or she knew whose identity she was stealing. She knew, I said. She knew about Rachel. She knew when she died. How? I thought about it. The photo of me and Emma on her phone. The details she'd given the school. Our address. Emma's birthday. My phone number. How did she know so much about us? Reyes looked at Shaw. Shaw looked at me. Does your wife have any sisters? Cousins who might look like her? No. Rachel was an only child. Her parents died before she did. Any former friends who might have a grudge? Anyone who expressed unusual interest in Emma? No, nothing. This doesn't make any sense. Shaw leaned back. Mr. Torres, has anyone approached you recently about Emma? Anyone asking questions about custody, adoption, your plans for her future? No one. I would have remembered that. Then we need to approach this differently. He stood. We're going to post an officer outside your house tonight. Don't let Emma out of your sight. Don't send her to school. Don't talk to anyone you don't trust completely. You think she's going to come back? She's been building this for weeks. She's not going to give up just because you found out. I didn't sleep for 3 days. Kept Emma home from school. Installed Ring cameras on every door. Motion sensors in the yard. Moved our mattress into the living room so I could see the front door and the back door at the same time. Emma didn't understand what was happening. She kept asking when Mommy was coming back. Why is Mommy hiding, Daddy? She's not hiding, baby. She had to go away. But she said she was coming back. She promised. I held her in my arms and tried to think of what to say. The truth was too horrible. The lie was too cruel. I settled on something in between. Sometimes people say things they don't mean, sweetheart. Sometimes they make promises they can't keep. But I will never leave you. I promise you that. Pinky promise? Pinky promise. She hooked her tiny finger around mine. The call came on day 4. We found her. Detective Shaw's voice was calm, but I could hear something else underneath. Something grim. Who is she? Her real name is Meredith Kane, age 37, former social worker. She was fired 6 years ago from the Department of Child Services. The official reason was falsifying reports. What does that mean? Shaw was quiet for a moment. She was removing children from fit homes and placing them with families who paid her under the table, essentially selling kids to the highest bidder. My stomach turned. She was caught and fired, but the case never went to trial. Lack of evidence. The families she'd placed children with disappeared. The records were destroyed, and she's been free this whole time? She moved to 4 different states over the past 6 years. We think she's been doing this independently, finding targets, building relationships, then taking children who wouldn't be missed. Single parents, isolated families, people without support systems. She was going to take Emma. We found documents in her apartment, fake custody papers, a lease for an apartment in Nevada under a different name, 2 plane tickets to Mexico dated for next week. I sat down on my kitchen floor. I couldn't stand anymore. She was going to fly my daughter to Mexico. Yes, and I never would have found her. Mr. Torres, we got her. She's in custody. Your daughter is safe. Safe. The word felt hollow. They brought me to the station the next day. Not for questioning, for closure. Shaw wanted me to see the evidence myself, understand what had almost happened. A child psychologist named Dr. Linda Okonkwo, 20 years of experience with trauma cases, met us there. She'd been brought in to help explain what Meredith had done to Emma. It's called grooming, Doctor, Okonkwo said gently. The process of building trust with a child, so they'll go willingly when the time comes. Meredith spent weeks studying your daughter, her favorite foods, her favorite shows, her fears and dreams. She made herself into the perfect mother figure. She told Emma that Rachel came back from the dead. Children that age don't fully understand death. Meredith exploited that. She gave Emma what she wanted most, her mother, and used that bond to prepare her for extraction. Extraction. Like my daughter was a target in a military operation. How did she know so much about us? I asked. She knew everything. Our address, Emma's birthday, Rachel's name. Shaw slid a folder across the table. Inside were screenshots. Dozens of them. My Facebook posts. Photos of Emma's 4th birthday party. Her first day of kindergarten. The pumpkin we carved last Halloween. Captions describing her favorite toys, her favorite foods, her bedtime routine. I'd posted everything, and Meredith Kane had used it all. Your Facebook was public? Shaw said. She found you through a search for single fathers in the area. Your wife's obituary gave her Rachel's full name. Your posts gave her everything else. I stared at the screenshots. Every photo I'd shared, thinking I was celebrating my daughter's life. Every update I'd posted, thinking I was connecting with friends and family. Every piece of our private world, handed to to a predator on a silver platter. I did this, I whispered. No, Shaw's voice was firm. She did this. She's a professional. She's been doing this for years. You didn't do anything wrong except trust that the world was safer than it is. My daughter almost got kidnapped because of my Facebook page. Your daughter is safe because you noticed something was wrong and acted immediately. That's what matters. The trial was 4 months later. Meredith Kane sat at the defense table in a modest gray suit, looking for all the world like a respectable professional. Her lawyer had tried to portray her as a misunderstood woman who'd made poor choices, someone who genuinely wanted to help children, not harm them. The prosecutor, ADA Patricia Mendez, 17 years of experience with child predator cases, dismantled that narrative piece by piece. She presented the fake custody documents, the lease in Nevada, the plane tickets to Mexico. She presented testimony from 3 other families. Meredith had targeted families who'd been too scared or too ashamed to come forward until they learned they weren't alone. She presented Emma's therapy records, the nightmares, the crying fits, the questions about why mommy left again, and she presented me. I testified for 2 hours. Described the moment Mrs. Patterson told me about the woman picking up Emma, the sign-out sheets with my dead wife's name, the security footage of a stranger hugging my daughter. Described Emma's face when she told me mommy was coming back. Described the 3 nights I didn't sleep, sitting in my living room with every light on, watching the doors. My daughter still asks when mommy is coming back, I said, voice cracking. She still doesn't understand that the woman who held her hand wasn't real. She still flinches when strangers approach her. She's 5 years old, and she has nightmares about being taken away from me. The jury was silent. Meredith Kane stared at the table. The deliberation took 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Attempted kidnapping, identity fraud, child endangerment. 3 counts of custodial interference from previous cases. 15 years. After the verdict, Meredith's lawyer approached me in the hallway. My client wanted me to give you a message. I don't want to hear it. He handed me a folded piece of paper anyway. I stared at it for a long moment. Then I walked to the nearest trash can and threw it away without reading it. I didn't need her words. I didn't need her explanations or excuses or whatever twisted justification she'd constructed. She'd tried to take my daughter. She'd failed. That was the only ending that mattered. That night, I deleted every social media account. Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter I barely used, all of it. I changed our address, moved to a different neighborhood, enrolled Emma in a new school, one with strict security protocols, fingerprint verification for pickup, cameras on every door. The principal, Dr. Yamamoto, called to apologize again. I thanked her and hung up. I didn't blame her. I blamed the system. I blamed myself. But mostly, I blamed Meredith Kane. Emma is 8 now. She still sees a therapist, Dr. Okonkwo, who's become something like family twice a month. She's made progress. Huge progress. The nightmares are rare now. The flinching has mostly stopped. But she still asks sometimes, Daddy, is mommy coming back? I tell her the truth, the real truth. Mommy loved you very much, sweetheart. She's watching you from somewhere beautiful. But she's not coming back. And anyone who says different is lying. Why would someone lie about that? Because some people are broken inside. They do bad things because they can't help it. But those people can't hurt you anymore. I won't let them. Pinky promise? Pinky promise. Last month, Emma made a drawing in therapy. Dr. Okonkwo showed it to me after the session. Eyes a little misty. It showed 2 figures, a tall one and a small one holding hands. The tall one had dark hair, May, and the small one had brown pigtails, her. They were standing in front of a house with a red door. Above them, in careful crayon letters, she'd written one word, safe. I framed it. It hangs in our living room now, right above the couch where we watch movies together on Friday nights. People ask me sometimes if I regret anything. The social media posts, the public photos, the oversharing that gave a predator a roadmap to my daughter's life. Of course I do. But regret doesn't change the past. It only teaches you about the future. What I know now is this. The world is full of people like Meredith Kane, people who see children as commodities, people who exploit loneliness and grief and trust, people who study your life through a screen and plan how to take the things you love. You can't stop all of them, but you can make it harder. You can lock down your accounts, limit what you share, verify who's picking up your kids, ask questions when something feels wrong. You can pay attention. Meredith Kane is eligible for parole in 2031. She'll be 47 years old. Emma will be 15. I've already started preparing. New address, new school, new security measures. She'll never find us again. The drawing still hangs in our living room. 2 figures, 1 word, safe. My daughter drew that. My daughter, who spent 3 weeks holding hands with a woman who wanted to steal her, who believed her dead mother had come back, who trusted so completely that she almost walked out of my life forever. She drew that word because she believes it now, because I made it true. Rachel, if you're watching from somewhere beautiful, I kept my promise. I kept her safe. I'll keep her safe forever. Last week, Emma asked me to tell her her about Mommy. Not the woman who pretended, the real one. We sat on the couch with photo albums I hadn't opened in years. I showed her the wedding pictures, the baby shower, the day we brought her home from the hospital. She loved you so much, I said. From the moment she knew you existed, she used to sing to you every night. She said you were going to change the world. Emma studied a photo of Rachel holding her as a newborn. She looks like me. You look like her. Same eyes, same smile. I miss her. I know, baby. I miss her too. But you're here. I'm here. She leaned her head against my shoulder. That's enough. It is. It's enough.